Have you ever looked up at a Buddha image of the Western Pure Land, full of golden lightened lotus thrones, and secretly thought, that world looks amazing? But does it have anything to do with my messy life? Have you ever wondered whether Pure Land is only a place you hope to reach after death, or whether there's a way for your present life, with its bills, arguments, and headaches, to already touch something like paradise? Welcome back to the channel, my friend. Thank you for coming back again, especially for such a long, quiet conversation in a world that loves fast noise. Today we are going to go deep into a topic that many people have heard about but few really sit with in their hearts. What is the real Pure Land? Is it somewhere far away in the West, beyond this universe, waiting for us after we die? Or is it also hidden in the way you live, breathe, and see right now? We are going to walk slowly, like an evening stroll. We will talk about the traditional idea of a pure land, why so many people put their hopes there, why that hope is beautiful, but sometimes misunderstood, and how the deepest teachings say something quite shocking when your mind really awakens. The land under your feet can become pure land even before your last breath. We will tell stories of people who lived in very ordinary or even painful conditions, yet somehow carried a peace and joy that felt like a small pure land wherever they went. We will also look honestly at how our own greed, anger, and confusion can turn any place into a personal hell, even if we are surrounded by comfort. By the end, I hope you will not see Pure Land as just a distant religious slogan, but as a living possibility for how you experience this very moment. Let us start with a picture many of us carry in our minds. Imagine a beautiful, radiant world. The ground is made of precious materials, but somehow, they do not feel heavy or showy, just clear and gentle. The air is full of subtle music, not loud and aggressive, but soft and uplifting. There are ponds of clear water, lotus flowers of many colors opening and closing, birds whose songs themselves are teaching. In this world, there is no killing, no stealing, no cruelty. Beings remember kindness easily and forget hatred quickly. They are focused, not scattered. Their minds are naturally drawn toward awakening, like flowers turning toward the sun. This is the picture many scriptures paint of the Western Pure Land, the realm associated with Amitabha Buddha, a place created and sustained by great vows and immeasurable compassion, a place where it is easier to practice, to listen, to awaken, because the environment supports you instead of constantly dragging you into craving and distraction. No wonder countless people throughout history have chanted, prayed, and placed their hope in being reborn there. For those whose current lives are full of poverty, violence, and injustice, the idea of a land where wisdom and kindness are normal is like water in a desert. There is something deeply moving about this faith. It says, even if my present life is full of suffering, there is a destination where awakening is truly possible. I am not trapped forever in this mess. At the same time, if we are not careful, this faith can turn into something else, spiritual escape. We might start thinking, this world is hopeless. People are hopeless. I am hopeless. The only thing that matters is getting out of here and into that pure place. We might chant mechanically, treating the name of Amitabha like a ticket stamp, while continuing to live in confusion and selfishness here and now. We might say, I will be kind later. When I get there, I will awaken later, when conditions are better. Right now, I am too busy surviving. In other words, we can turn Pure Land from a living inspiration into a distant fantasy, postponing our awakening to some unknown future life. But the deepest teachings are not trying to support escape. They are trying to show us a truth that operates on two levels at once. On one level, Pure Land is a real realm of practice, sustained by profound vows, offering beings a precious chance to continue their journey in a more supportive environment. On another level, Pure Land is also a mirror. It reflects something about how mind and environment are always dancing together. There is a saying you may have heard: when the mind is pure, the land is pure. That sentence sounds simple, but if you really sit with it, it can rearrange your entire idea of heaven and earth. Think about it. When your mind is full of anger, how does the world look? Every face seems suspicious. Every word sounds like an attack. Even beautiful things annoy you. The same room that felt fine yesterday suddenly feels like a prison. When your mind is full of greed, how does the world look? Everything is either something you want to get, something you fear losing, or something you do not care about. People become tools or obstacles. You cannot really see them as full beings. When your mind is full of jealousy, how does the world look? Every success of others hurts. Every praise for someone else feels like an insult. The external reality may not have changed at all. The same street, the same house, the same faces, but your inner weather has changed, and suddenly your world feels dark and sticky. In that sense, the land you live in is not only the physical country or city, it is also the emotional and mental atmosphere your mind creates. Now flip it. Think of a moment when, for whatever reason, your heart was full of gratitude. Maybe someone helped you unexpectedly. Maybe you survived an illness. Maybe you watched a sunset that quietly broke your heart open. In those moments, how did the world look? The same street seemed gentler. Strangers' faces looked softer. Even small annoyances felt less sharp. There was a sense of this is okay. Even this is okay. Nothing around you had really changed, but your mind was temporarily pure in a certain way, and the land under your feet felt different. This is a small taste of the principle behind Pure Land. From the viewpoint of wisdom, there are outer lands and inner lands. Outer lands are the environments we find ourselves in, with their politics, economics, and culture. Inner lands are the states of mind we inhabit. The two constantly influence each other. Some lands, like the image of the Western Pure Land, are described as external places shaped by the pure vows of enlightened beings. Our current world is a more mixed environment, shaped by the mixed karma of countless beings, including you and me. But no matter where we are, the way we experience that land is always filtered through our own minds. So when a teacher says, "For the awakened, this very place is Pure Land," they are not denying the existence of the traditional Pure Land. They are pointing to the fact that when your mind really opens, you see everything differently. It is like cleaning a dirty window. Before, you looked out and thought, the world is so ugly and dim. After you clean the glass, you realize the sky was blue the whole time. It was the stain on the glass that made it look gray. Of course, in real life, things are more complex. There is real suffering. There are wars, injustice, illness, and loss. Saying, "Just change your mind and everything will be fine," would be superficial and cruel. The teaching does not say suffering is an illusion. It says that our additional layers of reaction add unnecessary suffering on top of what is already hard. It says that awakening does not always change the outer events, but it radically changes how you hold them. And through that, slowly transforms the environment too. Let us ground this in a story, because stories let us see with our hearts. There was a nurse named Elena who worked in a busy, underfunded hospital. Every day she faced crowded waiting rooms, anxious families, and patients whose conditions were sometimes beyond what the hospital could really handle. On paper, her environment was far from any romantic idea of a pure land. There were shortages of staff, equipment, and time. There were conflicts between departments. There were nights when she had to choose which patient to attend first, knowing that both needed attention urgently. Many of her colleagues burned out. Some became numb, going through the motions like machines. Others became bitter, complaining constantly about the system, the patients, the managers. Some left the profession entirely, saying, "I cannot handle this anymore." At first, Elena was like them. She started her career full of idealism, wanting to help. But after a few years, the endless pressure began to crush her. She went home exhausted, snapped at her family, and cried in the shower so no one would see. One day, after a particularly brutal shift, she found herself in the small chapel inside the hospital. It was a quiet room where people of any or no faith could sit. The door was open, and for some reason she walked in. She sat down, not to pray for miracles, but simply because she did not know where else to go. Her eyes fell on a simple phrase written on a card by the wall. It said something like, "May I learn to bring light even where there is darkness." Something in her heart moved. She realized that she had been asking for the hospital to change, the system to change, the patients to change, her colleagues to change, her paycheck to increase, her schedule to get lighter. In other words, she had been waiting for the land to become pure before she would allow herself to feel peace. But what if, she thought, my practice is to bring a small purulent into this impure place, instead of waiting for it to become perfect? She knew she could not magically fix the hospital's problems, but she began a quiet experiment. Each morning before starting work, she sat in the chapel for 5 minutes and made a simple inner wish. May I bring as much clarity, kindness, and presence as I can to whoever crosses my path today. May my mind, as much as possible, be a small pure land for them. Then she went into the same chaotic environment. The patients were the same. The equipment was the same. The schedule was the same. But step by step, she changed how she showed up. When a patient was angry and shouting, instead of taking it personally, unsnapping back, she tried to see the fear behind the anger. She listened a little more deeply, even if only for 1 extra minute. When a colleague was overwhelmed, instead of judging them as weak, she offered a hand where she could. When she washed her hands between patients, she used that moment as a mini meditation, feeling the water, breathing, remembering, I am here to serve. She still got tired. She still had days when she wanted to scream, but something in her began to steady. Other staff started noticing. They felt that when Elena entered a room, the atmosphere softened. Families instinctively trusted her. Even difficult patients calmed more easily around her. One day, a young doctor said to her, "I do not know how you stay so grounded here. Whenever I see you, I feel like the room becomes less heavy." She smiled and said quietly, "I am still learning, but I try to make my own mind a place that is safe for others, even when the outside is not." Was that hospital a pure land? On the level of outer conditions? Clearly not. But through her mind, a small pure land was already shining. Now imagine many people in such environments making the same inner vow. Slowly, the outer land would start changing too. This is how the inner pure land and the outer pure land feed each other. Now, you might ask, if pure land can be here and now, why do so many teachings still emphasize being reborn in the Western Pure Land after death? Why not just focus on inner practice and forget about other realms? That is a fair and important question. Different teachings exist because different people have different needs and capacities. For those who are deeply entangled in confusion, whose lives are full of heavy karma, who find it extremely hard to practice in this world because of their conditions, the promise of a Western Pure Land is like a compassionate bridge. It says, do your best now, build faith, chant with sincerity, cultivate virtue, even if you cannot fully awaken here because your conditions are so difficult. There is a place where your seeds of practice can continue to grow in a much better soil. This is not deception, it is skillful means. Just as a good teacher might encourage a struggling student by saying, if you keep trying, I will help you get into a better school. A compassionate Buddha offers Pure Land as a real destination for those who need it. At the same time, for those whose minds are ready to hear it, the deeper layer of the teaching is revealed. The soil that really matters is your present mind. If you chant the name of the Buddha 1,000 times but continue to live in selfishness, cruelty, and dishonesty, your inner land remains muddy. The sound of the name cannot penetrate deeply. If you chant with sincerity, trying to match the compassion behind that name in your daily actions, then every chant is like planting a lotus in your own mind. When your last breath comes, where will you go? From one angle, you could say you go where your deepest habits and aspirations are. If you have spent your life drowning in greed and hatred, thinking only of your own advantage, it is natural that you will gravitate toward realms and situations that reflect those qualities. If you have spent your life cultivating kindness, honesty, and faith, constantly aligning your mind with awakening, then even if your outer life was full of hardship, your inner compass points toward realms and situations where awakening is easier. Calling this Western Pure Land is one way of describing that compassionate destination. Saying when the mind is pure, the land is pure is another way of describing the same principle. Both point to the importance of how you live now. Let us tell another story, this time from a different angle. There was a business owner named Marcus. He had heard of Pure Land teachings in his childhood but never really paid attention. As an adult, his life was all about deals, investments, and expansion. He was not a criminal. He did not intentionally harm others, but his mind was constantly consumed with numbers, profits, and comparisons. His office building was luxurious, shiny floors, modern furniture, expensive art on the walls. He had his own private room with a view over the city. On the surface, it looked like a kind of small paradise. Yet inside himself, Marcus lived in a restless hell. Every time he looked at the view, he did not see beauty. He saw potential rivals. Every time he looked at his phone, he checked numbers, terrified of a drop. Every time he heard about someone else's success, he felt threatened. He slept badly, woke up anxious, and snapped at his staff for small mistakes. He could not relax, even on holiday, always thinking of the next move. One day, an old friend from school, whom he had not seen in years, came to visit. This friend had no big career. He worked as a simple carpenter, lived in a modest house, and had a small family. They sat in the big office, looking out at the city. "How are you?" Marcus asked, in the polite way people do. His friend smiled and said, "I am well. Work is simple but honest. My kids are growing. We do not have much, but our meals together are warm." Then he looked at Marcus more closely. "What about you?" Marcus paused. The usual answers felt stale in his mouth. Finally he said, "On paper, everything looks good, but in my chest, It feels like I am constantly running on a treadmill that never stops. It feels like I built this big, beautiful cage for myself." His friend nodded slowly. "When we were teenagers, you used to dream of building something amazing. I think you did. But maybe in chasing the outer world, you forgot to build an inner world that can rest." They were quiet for a while. Then his friend said, "Do you remember that idea from childhood teachings about Pure Land? Back then, I did not understand. But recently, I felt that Pure Land is less about where we are and more about how we are. When I eat a simple meal with my family, feeling gratitude and contentment, my old small house feels lighter than some big mansions I have seen. Their owners look dead inside." That sentence landed like a stone in Marcus's heart. He had always thought of paradise as more money, bigger buildings, more status. But if those were the ticket, why did he feel so trapped? After his friend left, he sat alone in his luxurious office and looked around. For the first time, he did not simply see objects. He saw the state of mind that had built them: fear, competition, insecurity. It was as if he woke up and realized that what he had called success was actually a carefully decorated prison. That moment of seeing clearly was the first crack in the wall. He did not quit his business and become a monk. He did something both simpler and harder. He began to slowly purify the land of his mind while still living his responsibilities. He set time each day for silence, just to sit and watch his own breath. He began to question his automatic reactions. When jealousy rose, he noticed it and did not immediately act from it. When greed pushed him toward deals that would harm others, he pulled back. He started treating his employees as human beings with loves and dreams, not just as tools. He took responsibility for old habits, apologized where needed, and changed company policies to be more ethical. The office did not suddenly turn into a temple, but the atmosphere changed. People felt less fear. There was more honesty. Years later, one of his staff members said to him, "When I first joined this company, it felt like a battlefield. Now it feels more like a community. It is still business, but there is a sense of fairness and care." Marcus smiled quietly. He thought, maybe this is what it means to grow a small Pure Land in the middle of the city. From the outside, his life still looked like that of a successful businessman. From the inside, the geometry of his world had changed. What about you? Your outer situation might be more like Elena's, working in chaos, or like Marcus's, surrounded by comfort yet restless. It might be something completely different. Whatever it is, the question is the same: are you waiting to be delivered into a Pure Land later? Or are you willing to start purifying your mind now, so that your future, wherever it is, has the taste of awakening? This does not mean denying your wish for a better future realm. It means aligning your present life with that wish. If you hope for a Pure Land where there is no killing, can you reduce harm in your own life now? Maybe by changing how you eat, how you consume, how you treat animals and the environment. If you hope for a Pure Land where beings speak truthfully, unkindly, can you purify your speech now? Maybe by cutting gossip, by speaking honestly, but with care, by apologizing when you hurt someone. If you hope for a Pure Land where minds are focused and peaceful, can you train your own mind now? Maybe by setting aside even a few minutes each day to sit, breathe, and watch your thoughts instead of being dragged by them. Every small act like this is like building a bridge between this world and the pure worlds. There is another important angle here too. The phrase "seeing your true nature" is oft unused in teachings about awakening. It means directly recognizing that your deepest identity is not your name, job, body, or personality, but a spacious, clear awareness that can never be stained by passing thoughts and emotions. When someone really experiences this, even for a moment, their relationship with life changes. They still see suffering, they still feel pain, grief, and fear, but they no longer believe that these experiences are the whole truth about reality. They are like waves on the surface of the ocean. The ocean remains vast and deep no matter how rough the waves become. For such a person, every land is both pure and impure at once. Pure, because the nature of reality itself is beyond stain. Impure, because beings are still acting from greed, anger, and ignorance. They feel a profound compassion for all beings, including themselves, trapped in cycles of suffering. And they also feel an unshakable trust that awakening is possible, here and now, in any realm. If you ask them, "Where is Pure Land?" they might smile and say, "If you look only with eyes of craving, you will not see it anywhere. If you look with eyes of wisdom, you will see hints of it everywhere. A simple morning light falling on your table, the laugh of a child, the patience of someone who forgives you, the courage of someone who tells the truth, even when it costs them something. These are all small windows into a pure way of being. Pure Land is not only made of gold, it is made of moments when delusion loosens its grip and the heart naturally chooses kindness and clarity. How do you begin to walk in that direction if you feel far away from it right now? First, you can be honest about your current land. Without blaming yourself, look at your life as if from a distance. What is the atmosphere in your home? Are people constantly tense, walking on eggshells? Or is there at least some space for laughter and honesty? What is the atmosphere in your mind when you wake up? Do you immediately reach for your phone, drowning your awareness in noise? Or can you take a few breaths to meet yourself first? What kind of thoughts do you feed all day? Thoughts of competition, complaint, and fear, or thoughts of gratitude, responsibility, and compassion? Your answers are not a judgment. They are a diagnosis. They show what kind of land you are currently living in uncontributing to. Second, you can start from the smallest possible pure land, your own breath. You may not be able to change your job tomorrow. You may not be able to move to a quieter place or escape your responsibilities. But you can take one conscious breath right now. As you inhale, you can tell yourself, "I am here." As you exhale, you can tell yourself, "I let go, just for now." You can do this at your desk, in your kitchen, on a bus, in a bathroom, in a hospital, on the street. These small islands of presence are already pure land. For a few seconds, you are not lost in past or future. You are not imprisoned by your thoughts. You are simply awake to this moment. Third, you can choose one simple practice that aligns your mind with awakening. For some, this may be chanting a Buddha's name with sincerity, not as a magical formula, but as a way to bring the mind back from scattered fantasies into a heart of trust and humility. For others, it may be a daily reflection on cause and effect before sleeping, reviewing the day and asking, "Where did I act from love? Where did I act from fear? What seeds did I plant in my mind today?" For others, it may be a steady commitment to one act of kindness per day, listening deeply to someone, helping without asking anything back, refraining from a harmful habit. None of these practices needs to be dramatic. Pure Land is built on many small, consistent bricks, not only on rare flashes of inspiration. Fourth, you can learn to see your suffering as part of the path, not as proof that awakening is far away. Many people think If my mind were pure, I would not feel anxiety, anger, or sadness anymore, because I still feel them. I must be hopeless, but feeling these emotions is not the problem. Clinging to them, acting blindly from them, and building an identity around them, that is what keeps the land impure. When you can say, right now anger is present in my mind, but I am more than this anger, you are already stepping into a different land. When you can say, this grief hurts deeply, but I do not need to make it into a story about how the universe hates me, you are purifying your land. Pure land does not mean a life without difficult weather. It means a mind that can stay upright even in the storm, rooted in something deeper than the wind. Finally, you can remember often that your life is short and precious. Whether you believe in many lives or just one, this particular combination of conditions, body, and relationships will never repeat in exactly the same way. You can use this brief chance to complain endlessly, to chase distractions, to numb yourself, to wait for some other world to save you. Or you can use it to start awakening here and now, so that whatever world you go to next, you carry a light with you. Before we close, let me speak to you directly, heart to heart. You might be listening to this with a heavy heart, thinking, my life is so far from any idea of pure land. My mind is constantly messy. My environment is full of pain. I barely have the energy to get through the day, let alone build paradise inside me. If that is you, please know this pure land is not for perfect people. It is for precisely those who feel they are drowning. The compassion behind the idea of Pure Land does not say, come back when you are more pure. It says, bring your whole messy self, with all your doubts and wounds. Start from where you are. Every tiny sincere step counts. When you choose not to add one more harsh word to a conversation, you are building pure land. When you choose to forgive instead of taking revenge, you are building pure land. When you choose to sit with your sadness instead of numbing it with more distraction, you are building pure land. When you choose to admit a mistake and change course, you are building pure land. None of these acts will make the news, but in the language of karma, they are huge. If this long sharing has stirred something in you, I invite you to share in the comments. Have you ever had a moment when your outer life was still hard, but something inside felt strangely peaceful? As if a small piece of pure land had opened in your heart? Have you ever met a person whose presence made you feel calmer? Like the atmosphere around them was different from the usual world? Or are you in a place right now where everything feels chaotic, and you are wondering whether this teaching can really apply to you at all? You do not need to write something polished. Your honest experience might be exactly what someone else, somewhere, needs to hear tonight. If you would like more long, story-based, slow reflections like this, about awakening, karma, compassion, destiny, and real-life practice, please consider supporting the channel. You can subscribe so you do not miss future deep dive videos. You can click like to help this kind of content reach more people who are hungry for depth. You can leave a thoughtful comment so this becomes a living conversation, not just one voice. If you feel especially connected to this space and wish to help sustain it, you can also consider joining as a member. Your support makes it possible to keep creating long-form content that respects your intelligence and your heart, instead of trying to grab your attention for just a few seconds. Thank you for staying with me all the way to the end of this journey, and of this whole batch of episodes. May you remember that Pure Land is not only at the edge of the universe. It is also in the way you speak, the way you act, the way you see. Right now, may you find the courage to purify your own land, little by little, breath by breath, and may whatever realm awaits you in the future be brightened by the seeds of wisdom and compassion you are planting in this very moment. At the end of the day, we all need something that brings us back to ourselves. Something that reminds us to slow down, breathe, and stay centered. Simple bracelet can do exactly that. Every bead you touch brings your mind back to calm, back to clarity, back to the present moment. If one of the bracelets you just so resonates with you, you can find the purchase link in the video description and explore more beautiful styles in our channel store. Let the one meant for you find its way to your wrist.